You probably think you know how to ride a bike, right? But what if I told you almost everything you believe about how they work is wrong? We even built this special bike just to prove it. When you want to turn left on a bike, you just turn the handlebars left, correct? That's what most people think. Well, my friend Rick rigged this bike with a radio controller that can lock the steering to one side. He'll secretly choose whether I can turn left or right. The light tells me which way I'm allowed to steer. Let's see what happens. Okay, I'm ready. Whoa, I tried to turn right, but there was no way. Now, left R, right, right, right. Ugh, it's incredibly difficult. So, what's going on? If you look closely, you'll see the problem. To turn right, I was trying to steer right, which just threw me off balance. To successfully turn a bike, it's impossible to turn left without first briefly steering right, and impossible to turn right without first steering left. This is called countersteering. It seems wrong, doesn't it? We think of steering like a car. Point the wheels where you want to go. But on a bike, steering is all about balance. When you steer the handlebars right, you're actually pushing the bike out from under you, causing you to lean left. To avoid falling, you have to steer left into that lean. You've just made a left turn, even though you started by steering right. To actually turn right, you have to initiate it by a quick countersteer to the left, which lets you lean right into the turn you want. Anyone who rides a bike does this intuitively, without even knowing it. Watch this. Turn left. Hard left. See, every rider countersteers without thinking. It's exactly like balancing a broomstick on your hand. To move it forward, you first have to pull the base back to make it lean forward, and then you follow it. With a bike, you're constantly making these tiny adjustments. You're balancing an inverted pendulum. On a unicycle, it's even more obvious. To go forward, you first pedal back slightly to lean forward. Then you can chase that lean. You reel ways using small countersteers to keep the wheel-S contact patch directly under your center of gravity. Now, you might have noticed that a couple of times I did manage to make the turn even with the steering locked. That was pure luck. I just happened to be leaning the right way at the exact moment the lock engaged. The crazy takeaway here isn't just about turning. It's that steering on a bike is primarily for balancing. This also explains why it's so hard to balance on a stationary bike. It's not about the wheels spinning and gyroscopic effects. It's because when you're not moving, you can't use steering to keep the bike underneath you. Even when you're riding in a straight line, you're constantly making tiny steering adjustments to stay upright. You're moving the front wheel's contact patch side to side, just like balancing that broomstick. So, if the rider is responsible for all this balancing, how can a bike stay upright all by itself? As long as a bike has enough speed, it can coast indefinitely, correcting its own balance. We tried to test this, but even on bumpy ground, the bike just kept going. How does it do this? Again, most people blame the gyroscopic effect of the spinning wheels, but that's not the main reason. To prove it, we locked the handlebars completely straight. Let's see what happens. Whoa. People tried going fast. They tried using their body weight, but nobody could stay up for more than a few seconds. It's just as impossible as balancing on a stationary bike because you can't steer it. The real reason riderless bikes are stable is because they are cleverly designed to steer themselves. If the bike starts to lean to one side, the handlebars automatically turn in that direction, steering the wheels back underneath it. There are three main mechanisms behind this. First, the angle of the front fork means the steering axis hits the ground in front of where the wheel actually touches it. This is called the caster effect, just like on a shopping cart wheel. When the bike leans, the ground force on the tire automatically turns the wheel into the lean. Second, the weight of the handlebars and front wheel is positioned slightly in front of the steering axis. So, when the bike leans, gravity itself helps pull the wheel into the turn. And third, there is a gyroscopic effect, but it's not what you think. It doesn't hold the bike up directly. Instead, when the bike leans, the spinning wheel precesses, which helps steer it into the lean. In fact, you don't even need all three of these to make a stable bike. Researchers built this bizarre-looking bike with no caster effect and counter-rotating wheels to cancel out the gyroscopic forces. It's still self-stable purely because of how its mass is distributed. Understanding the physics of bicycles is still an active area of research, leading to incredible new designs. Like this prototype with a smart motor in the handlebars that actively helps you balance, even at super low speeds. It's amazing that we can all ride a bike without having any real idea of how we actually doing it. Hey, this video is sponsored by KiwiCo, who create awesome hands-on projects designed to expose kids to concepts in science, technology, engineering, art, and math. With the holidays coming up, a KiwiCo subscription is the perfect gift. They have 9 different subscription lines for all ages, and they ship to over 40 countries. It's such a great gift because a new box full of fun and learning arrives at your door every month. My kids and I love building these projects together. Each box has everything you need, and the instructions are designed by experts and tested by kids. Today, I built this awesome water wheel fountain. For viewers of this channel, KiwiCo is offering 50% off your first month of any crate. Just go to kiwico.com/Veritasium50. The link is in the description below. I want to thank KiwiCo for supporting this channel, and I want to thank you for watching.